Hey guys, welcome into another episode of Stone Valley. It is January 1, 8 a.m., but very dark here. And yeah, we need to get out here and do some chores quick. I do believe that the calves are probably pretty low, if not out of food this morning. We'll jump in the Kubota here, get that warming up. Can't say the old girl's died before, but interesting. It's been a very mild winter, so that is definitely not the issue. Temps are hovering. Even right now, they're close to 50. Not too bad. So that first barn there is the one that's actually full. So it has 30 calves, all young ladies. So they go through the most food out of the three barns. Jump in the Massey here, go grab 3 bales. Give them a bale apiece, get their day started well. So once the sun comes up here, the temperatures have been mild enough that I do plan to continue running the cultivator. Get this ground worked up, get ready for our first spring, our first planting here. So my goal, my hope is to have everything, the ground ready, the ground prepped, really in the best shape that it can be. Piggyback right off of the success we were having in Alma before life threw us this curveball and sent us here to Illinois. I'm gonna go ahead and set these guys down here. Grab the one off the top and get that dropped off in the first bin. I've been just pummeling these posts. Only a matter of time before I have to replace the fencing in the front of these barns. Run back to the shed, we'll grab that last bale that was there. See the sun on the horizon there, starting to beam some light. That's good. If we could get this bale to drop here. Eventually, here it goes. About time. Go ahead and put the Massey away. Happy girls in this pen. I'm glad to see that. Excited for them to grow a bit more, get them moved over to these mono slopes. These are the bulls here in this pen. think we will put this Massey away and bring that boom back in. It's not going to leave that extended while flying around the corner here. We'll jump in the Kubota. Or I can just leave the boom out, that's fine too. Right, we'll bring the Kubota around front, put that back in the shed. I think we will jump in the 9620. See if we can get some more of these fields fit and ready for planting. We haven't had much moisture, so I don't think the ground is going to be an issue to get that cultivator in. It hasn't been cold, so really it hasn't frozen much at all yet. I'm a little scared that February is going to be when all hell breaks loose here. We've got what I plan to be the alfalfa fields and the large oat field to get fit. We'll head east, just down the way. These are the fields that are next to that cemetery. The oat field is next to the cemetery. The alfalfa field is what used to be the dairy operation over there. The old girl makes it sound like we're cruising, but man, 25 has never felt so slow. I think we're gonna throw on some music here and do a quick little time lapse. Get these fields finished up. See you in a bit. So if you notice that wing of the cultivator jump up there on the right side, I found one of, well, there's two hidden collisions here in this field. So like I said, this was the dairy operation, it's all torn down. So something is still going on over here where there's some collisions, so I just decided to whip up a quick little island here. Here is that second collision I was talking about. Close enough to the edge that instead of an island, I'll just make it kind of jut out into the field here. Back this old girl out of the way. some landscaping going. We'll pretend it never even happened. I do make this one a little bit bigger than it needs to be. And that gravel on the edges, I try to get rid of it. The deeper you go, the more gravel shows up, so we'll just leave that. Toss some trees in here, make it look natural. Tidy up this edge here. Some grass on it, and we will be back up and running in the field, finishing up this cultivation. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and spare you from the one hell that is watching me cultivate. Any tillage really, it's been nothing but tillage so far in this series, I feel. And we'll move on to the next hell, and that is watching me load up some seed and fertilizer. So Doug down at the shop gave me a call and said that the price of seed and fert is pretty decent right now. So if you want to swing down and pick up, he knows that we're basically starting from scratch on these fields, so it's going to take quite a bit of fertilizer to get them up to snuff. And we've got a decent enough acreage that plenty of seeds that we're going to need, so you can kind of see in the distance there we've got a big old pile, bunch of pallets of fertilizer. I only got 4 of the pro boxes of corn seed, didn't want to go too crazy. We're going to go ahead and back up over here next to the shop. Stay out of the way just in case any customers are strolling in. Don't want to block up their parking lot there. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Plenty of time to get all this loaded up. Doug said the keys are in the forklift there. He said that is fair game to use basically anytime we need it. We'll get these forks scooted in just a touch, narrow them up. And yeah, begin my tedious process of stacking pallets. I have never been diagnosed with OCD, but watching me do this, you'll all wonder and assume that I probably am. At least to some degree. I'm pretty excited to get this stuff at a decent price. We'll just store it in one of the cold storage sheds. until it is time to finally get some seeds in the ground. I'm excited for that. One thing I wish this game had is the ability to wrap these pallets in plastic. I think that would be slick. You're not going to see them cruising down the road stacked 3 high very often without something wrapped around them. You can use the physics of the bale wrapper, kind of the same idea. That would be pretty slick. Speaking of slick, if y'all's shop doesn't have a community forklift to use, you should definitely go into management and complain. This thing is nice to have. Just makes this so much better. Previously I've loaded up the Massey Ferguson on the trailer, brought it down to the shop. Sometimes you're lucky enough there's room on the trailer, you can still bring it home, otherwise you're stuck either driving it back home or grabbing a second trailer if you've got one, come back and pick up. So this is super nice. I'm very thankful that they have this for anybody to use, basically. Any closer to that trailer and I probably would have lost the right to utilize this equipment though. It's a close call. That one didn't want to let go. Down to the last stack of 3 here. And for the sake of weight distribution, this will be the last stack of 3. Those last 4 will go 2 and 2. Throw those on behind. We should have more than enough room for those 4 pro seed boxes. Those do look quite a bit wider than the pallets, so I'll be curious to see how they fit on the trailer. If I'll be able to go too wide, or if I have to go singles all the way back, it might be cutting it close, but we'll see. We'll worry about that when we get there. I use that technique to square up my bales a lot if I'm picking up multiple bales. Figured it would work well in this situation as well. So in case anyone's wondering why I'm not tucking these right up next to each other, leaving that gap in between, I'm trying to keep them. You'll see when we get to strapping them down here. I've done this with pallets in the past. I keep them staggered so that I can get two straps covering each one, not just a single strap down the middle. May sound a little ridiculous, but I guess it just feels a little more realistic. Kind of adds to my immersion, keeps me interested in the gameplay here. At this point, if anybody's still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I realize I'm getting a little long in the tooth here with loading up. I'm gonna jump mini time lapse, I'll call it, kind of time lapse the proceed boxes and get this moving along. These boxes, for whatever reason, just do not like to let go of the forks. I've noticed in the trailer, no matter how square you are, it kind of pulls them back with you. So I struggle with that a little bit, but nothing we can't fix with a little pushing and shoving. Yeah, that one in particular gave me way more grief than it should have. Down to the last one here. Just needs a little nudge and we are all good. We'll park this guy up. Doug said just anywhere between the two buildings there. We'll have to come back and pick up our lime spreader. So here's what I mean, we get two straps on each pallet. Granted, that one's a little off, but we're gonna go ahead and drive this home and get it parked in the cold storage shed. I feel like I gotta start looking into a new truck. I know this old girl's done us well. Survived all of our shenanigans in Alma and the drive here, but it just doesn't seem to like pulling the gooseneck as much as it used to. It struggles, it tilts, it rocks. Maybe it just needs a brand new overhaul on the suspension. Probably help if I didn't have a set of, they're not super swampers, but they're definitely off-road tires. But kind of thinking just a new truck, maybe an upgrade there. It's time, it's overdue. We'll have to do some truck shopping here in the future. That intersection is especially bad. With or without the gooseneck, you can just be driving and that intersection's terrible. Alright, we'll get turned in and I'm going to put it in the back, the cold storage here, where I keep the semi and the 9620. It's a nice spot, just kind of back, out of the way. Won't have to worry about it. this unhooked. Just quite the load of fertilizer. I can't help but think we'll probably end up going back to the shop to buy more. Especially with how much ground we're planning to plant into corn. Corn is hungry. It's a hungry crop. Alright, get those doors closed up. I'm gonna pull the truck around front, and I do think this is a great place to end this episode off. Not a very exciting episode, I apologize. Nothing but tillage, manually loading pallets. If you are still around, feel free to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks guys, and we'll see you on the next one.